Hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. Actually, is this a vlog? Okay, I'll just go with the flow. Okay, this is me again on the same day recording vlogging for like the fourth time, because I think this is the only thing that's keeping me sane at this moment. Talking with you guys. So let's talk about the biopsy I got done. But before we talk about the biopsy, let's talk about what led to that biopsy. So first, guys, 3 years ago, three or four, I guess. After completing my high school, like when I joined campus, I had like okay, I finished high school the first time. I finished 2018. Then I was not happy with what I got, and shit happens, and I went back to school. I went to another school, went back to Form 3, Form 4. Then lucky enough, I was satisfied with what I got, and I was lucky to join Kabarak University. It's at Kericho, not Kericho, Nakuru County. My high school was in Kericho. So how this thing started, when I was a freshman, when I was a first year, I had like a small is it a growth or something like that over my neck, and I was okay. I was like, you've seen people, you've seen people with okay. Me, I thought it's something that's it's supposed to be natural, something like like you can see some people walking around like they have some things growth or some, like I thought it was a normal thing. Like I thought to myself, okay, maybe this is going to be one of my flaws, and I accepted the fact, so I didn't worry. But then it overstayed. It was for like let's say after a few months, then my brother told me, what's that on your neck? And I'm like, it's nothing, it's normal, like it's normal, because it was a tiny bump over here, a very tiny one. And I was like, okay, it's fine, I don't have to worry. And I ignored it. Then later on, I started, okay, it disappeared. I'm sure there's a point in time it disappeared. Then from nowhere it came back, and it stayed over there. I ignored it for like siku ngapi? Miaka mbili. Juu sahii ni mwaka wa tatu. It's my third year. Okay, it's been 3 years since I had that bump. And then from nowhere, there's another one that developed over here, just under my armpits. And I was like kind of concerned, like why is this thing over here? And now I'm talking to my friends, like other girls. I'm asking them, when you touch yourself like this, like is it normal? Do you guys have like kind of a bump over here? And they were like, no, or something. Then I started, me, any problem I face, I just run to Google, start searching, blah 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 blah. Then I saw like maybe it's because of an infection. If you have an infection, the lymph nodes swell. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm kind of sick, or maybe my body is fighting something, and it's just fine, because I was not feeling sick. I was not feeling anything. Like my life was okay. December is when a second bump appeared over here. So now I had a third bump. So I had now 3 bumps. And I was like, I started feeling kind of sick, pain in my chest and that. Went to the hospital. I was they took some blood samples and stuff, and they said, Perhaps we should test for like several illness like malaria and amoeba and blah blah blah, heart disease and those. And then they came to a conclusion that I had assault, that is what's its name, rheumatic fever. Yeah, rheumatic fever. And I was supposed to have some shots of penicillin. First, when I just had those shots, if you know me like on a personal level, if there's something that could seriously kill me, needles. I'm so scared of needles. Actually, I'm petrified. I'd rather you cut my skin. You cut my skin with a knife. Let me just feel the pain, but I don't know why I'm scared of needles. Come to think of it. Like, I'm scared. Do you know, even when you're testing for like HIV, that small prick like this, me, I'll scream, I'll sweat, I'll faint. And so guys, so actually I was told it was not that. We went to another hospital, got a second opinion, and they were like, I think they tested, sorry, this is one of the symptoms, hey, shit, symptom, hey, what's wrong with me? Like one of the signs I'm having, yeah. So what happened? I went to another doctor. I'm all over the place. Anyway, I went to another doctor, got a second opinion, and he was like, you have like bacteria in your blood and something like that. And so he recommended some injections. Again, my worst fear. Can I say how, when I say I'm scared, like I'm patronized. I'm scared of these needles. And this woman McHugh, she's like, amefunga cotton, amenifungia gloves huku. So like ameikaza tight. I feel like amenifinya, and then she's looking for my veins. I have thin veins, so it's hard to get a hold of them. And she's just beating my hands. And you know McHugh, amenifunga hapa na amenifunga hapa, nimekazwa at the moment. I'm not comfortable. Afa ananimwagia spirit akinichapa hivi, like, do you know when your body is wet, then someone beats you? And her hand was like, okay, maybe that's how it's supposed to be, but to me that was a no-no. Then she struggled, then eventually she gave me to a doctor who used it's called a lining over here, and the medicine was, then after a while I started feeling pain in my chest, and we went back to the hospital. They said I have pneumonia. I also got some pneumonia injections and stuff like antibiotics. Then I was a bit better, but still I had the lymph node swollen. I came back to school. I don't know why I came back to school, by the way. I came to school, stayed for like 2 days. My eyes started swelling. This eye, like, during the day it's better, but when I wake up very early in the morning, it's very swollen. It's very huge. And then I decided, let me take myself to the school health center. And at first, they told me I should go do an ultrasound on the lymph node that are swollen. I went, I did an ultrasound in town. It's called Scan Lab. They did an ultrasound. From the ultrasound, they recommended an FNA. An FNA is something called aspiration using a thin needle. So this was like, they're going to use a very small needle, like they're going to inject the lymph node, the swollen lymph node, and remove some tissues to test. You can imagine how I was feeling. Me and the needles don't go together. This person is telling me I should go get myself injected on the neck. On my neck. Like on my neck. I went to town. As I was queuing, I literally started crying. I was so scared. I was sweating and crying. And there's this nurse who asked me, why are you crying and stuff? And I was like, I'm scared of needles. I was like, will you numb me first before like you inject my neck? And he was like, to numb you, we will have to inject your neck. So why like inject your neck twice, like numb you then again inject? And I was like, God, why have you forsaken me? Like, God, these are all the things I'm scared about, and they're happening, and I'm like, why? So I went with my friend. Okay, when you go inside the room, you're supposed to go alone, like you're the patient. But me, oh, I was so scared. I was like, please, doctor, could you just allow my friend to come inside and just give me like moral support and stuff? Then he just said, okay, it's fine, but she'll have to sit somewhere at the corner and just watch. And I was like, okay, that's better. I went in, and like how ultrasound is being done, so he has that machine over my neck, so he's injecting while using the machine. And I was like, God, am I ready for this? And everything like that. I was like, then he like started asking me stories, questions like, how old are you? He's like, I like your dreads. How old are they and what? And you see, as I was answering the questions, from nowhere, he injected me like, shh. And I was like, then I was like, wait. It was not actually that bad. Actually, I felt nothing. Like, literally, there was no pain. And I was like, why was I even that scared? And I can see from the screen over there, the way he's like jiggling the needle all over, like he injects, then he starts like mixing up things inside, and so that he can get some tissues. Then he pulled the first one. He told me the tissues are not enough. He needed a second extraction. And I was like, okay, fine, you can just do it. He injected again, removed some of the tissues, and I had to wait for the results. After a while, I got the results. Then I brought it back to school, and I was told I had to get an entire node biopsy. At first, I didn't know what it meant, and the technician in school didn't tell me what it meant. So he was like, can I get your parents' phone number? Because this process is kind of big. You need your parents. Called my dad. He called my dad, explained to him. I was taken home. Then I went to Nairobi. Then my brother took me to the hospital. Then the devil told me to look up what a biopsy means, an entire biopsy. And I was like, God, it's surgery. It's like it's surgery. I went on YouTube, looked for a video, and I was like, let me tell you that video. The moment I opened it, I saw the girl was being they were cleaning the area. So this biopsy, I saw this girl, she was being cleaned, the area that was going to be cut and everything. And then she had to like wait for a few minutes. Then she got an injection that's supposed to numb your your neck so that they can cut. And then I saw this guy take a razor and cut like somewhere from here to here, so this length. And I was like, and he was just like cutting. I didn't even finish the video. I just paused and said, okay, I'm not seeing this again. Actually, I regretted why I saw that video. Then I went, okay, leave that aside. Went with my brother. Before you go for surgery, they have to do some procedures, like they have to measure your weight, your height, your pressure, and my heart rate was high. And this guy was like, why are you panicking? Like, yours is not that serious. Like, you don't have to be like completely put to sleep. Yours is just numbing. And I'm like, I'm not scared, but deep down I know what I've seen on that YouTube channel, and I'm like, God. So I had to they had to give me some few minutes to calm down. I took my phone, started watching some TikToks, and yeah. Then I was taken to, there's a room called recovery room. You go there. Then there's this guy, he told me to sit on this bed. He went, took out you know those clothes like for the ones you're supposed to wear when you're going for surgery, like it's like a robe. And he got me like a piece of like a cloth, because the robe, the back side is open, so you have to like cover yourself like that. And I'm like, why are these people exaggerating? I'm just going, it's here, they're going to cut my neck, not, I don't need all this. And he's like, remove all your clothes plus your panty and your bra and wear this cloth. And I'm like, this is my first time having surgery or going to those places. And yeah, and I'm like, what do you mean remove my panty and my bra? Okay, so me, I didn't know it was like that's how the rules work over there, like in like all hospitals. And then I saw another man who was coming from the theater. He was like in the same clothes, the what is it called, the robe and everything. And then I overheard that he just had this thumb surgery. And I'm like, hey, this system knows how to exaggerate. Why would you dress me up for just this thumb? And I was like, fine, it's okay. Then I was taken. I was like told to lie on a bed, and it had wheels. And I'm like, don't you think you're exaggerating, you people? Like, I can walk. But they're like, oh, just sleep here. And I was taken to that room. Okay, I've never been to a theater. I usually just see it in movies, like The Good Doctor and stuff. And I was like, so these things are real. They're like huge lights and everything. And there's this, we have my surgeon, I knew him. And then we have this assistant. He's like covered up all over the legs, the mask, everything and what. And he's like, he came with a table, opened up some tools. Have you ever seen this, like this when you're watching this action, not action necessarily, when you want to torture someone, like when you open those weapons, and you're like, he's picking up something like a scissor something like I don't know, like it's kind of spatula or something. Okay, I know I'm saying nonsense because I'm not in the field of medicine or anything like that, but I'm like, huh? I'm like, are you planning on killing me? Are you planning on killing me? And he's like, there's this other nurse, she comes in and she's like, oh, why are you panicking? Don't be scared and what. Then I was told to lie on my back. And now, I don't know why. Again, the other thing I found, like, it was kind of weird. There's a piece of cloth that has like tape. So he covered my face like this. All this part is covered. Over here, this is covered. And then this guy wants to cover over here. So you want to cover my eyes and you think I'll let you. He was like, then the doctor said, don't cover that side. This side it's fine. We can work with like this side only, like this side. And the lights were like, you know those lights like so you've seen these movies. If you haven't, go like search it up or something. Go search lights that are in the theater or something like that. They were like bright, and I was like, now I'm scared. And he was like, I'm going to inject you with some medicine to numb your body. And I was like, what medicine? Medicine numb me? And I'm like, injections. You're never going to leave me alone. And he's like, it's not, you'll just feel a prick and it will be off. Then he injected over here. Okay, it was not that bad. But then after a few minutes, I started feeling weak, nauseated. My pressure quickly just dropped and I was like panicking. My eyes started tearing and I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm like, and then my surgeon is like, Nora. In my head, okay, my head is somewhere else. And I'm like, Nora, do you know like those movie effects when you hear like someone is calling you from afar, like you're trying to faint, then someone is calling you, and he's like, Nora. So he doesn't know my name is Sharon. He thinks I'm Nora, and I'm like, now who is this Nora being called? And I'm like, or am I dead? I'm hallucinating. I'm like, I. And then after a while, he goes, gets the oxygen tank, and what's this called? I don't know. Those, yeah, something inside my nose, and I started breathing slowly, and my pressure got back to normal. And he was like, "Why are you that scared? Like, you're scaring us. It's just a simple procedure, but you're scaring us." And I'm like, okay, I'll just vumilia, I'll just persevere, you finish this procedure. And I'm like, as he's cutting and everything, I'm like humming, and he's like, huh, what are you saying? I'm saying, no, I'm just trying to sing in my head so that I can like distract my brain from whatever is going on over here. Have you ever had like when you're slicing your meat, sha sha sha? That's what I'm hearing. Like literally, he's cutting. This is the scar. He's cutting my neck. Sha 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 sha. And I'm like, what? Okay, let me continue saying like. Again, the devil is a liar. You see these lights? They're like, this is the light. Then the other part like this is silver, and silver is acting like a mirror. And then I was like, and I looked up. Oh my goodness. Do you know the way that silver is? That it's like, it's round like this. So this dome shape tends to like exaggerate and pull images. So when I saw like this, in my head, this wound is from here to here. And I'm like, any mistake, if I do any mistake and do like this, like he's halfway. I'm going to die. Like, my neck is going to break and drop. And I'm like, God. Oh, actually, I started praying in the middle of the surgery. I was like, please, God, help me. I'm sorry if I've ever sinned. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for lying. Sorry for... And you get... I'm like, oh, God. And then, when he's cutting next to this place, I felt like a pain over here. And I was like, stop. And he's like, what's wrong? And I told him I feel a pain over there. Then he was like, he took the anesthesia and like sprinkled it on my body. Then again my pressure went down. And then he was like, oh, there's something in this numbing medicine that I'm allergic to. And he was like, okay, we'll just have to do with that. He gave me some, I don't know, something to relax my muscles, and the procedure was over. And yeah, I went back home. He stitched me up. I went back home, and now I'm waiting for the results. So guys, it's been like 3 weeks after the surgery, and this place is still numb, like I can't feel anything. And funny enough, when the lymph node was removed over here, another one grew, like it automatically got replaced. And I'm like, okay, this is new. But anyway, it was for my own good. Now let's wait for the results. I think it will be out by Friday, and we'll know if what exactly is my problem, and we begin the treatment. Yeah, otherwise the procedure was not bad, and I think it was not as bad as I thought it would be. And yeah guys, that's my story, that's my experience of a biopsy. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment.